another week in the new year, 2023. So, over the last week, as you can see, lots of sales other than these last two. These are two pickups. But also mentioning, talking, or from last week about my neutral feedback. So I did submit a request to eBay to get rid of it, and it said pending review, and it said it for days on end. So I sent on the eBay for Business Facebook page, I sent them a message about it. The next day, surprisingly, it was on Saturday when someone got back. Someone got back to me. They took a look at it, and they will not remove it. It doesn't qualify for removal, which I say is kind of nonsense because this is a buyer's mistake on his part. It has nothing to do with nothing to do with me. So with that, I just did the reply of the buyer didn't ask about the size, and I did block this moron. So luckily, it still says that I have the 100% positive feedback. So that's good. So we'll get into the sales. Starting off with this Brevard County, Florida, Law Enforcement Games, 1999. It's for competitor, $5.99 on this one. Next, you have this Amelia Volunteer Fire Rescue, $5.99 on that one. On this one, this was another one that was super tiny. If I remember right, yeah, I put it in the description. I'm not sure if it's for Amelia, Ohio, so that's why that's in question mark. Next, this is Middlesex County, Massachusetts, Sheriff's Department, another hat patch, $3.99 on that one. Next is this Manola Volunteer Ambulance Corps in Long Island. This sold on offer, $8.09. Next is this Nassau County, Florida Fire District 8. This also sold out on offer, $7.19. Next is this Link Ultra Elegant, sure, we'll call it Elegant Gigabit IP phone, SIP T848G, with the headset. It's a touchscreen, which is pretty cool. A little like business IP phone. So with this, I have as you can see, I got the phone, the headset, the actual phone itself, the base, but it doesn't have like a stand. I don't have the power cord for it. It's a little scratched up a little bit. It's been floating around for a couple months, and like see with the screen protector is pretty dirty. I've taken it off a few times and dropped it in that, so it's been hanging around for a couple months. I got this back over the summertime out of the dumpster, out of that hundreds of dollars found video. This was one of the things in there that I found and have got listed. Sold within a couple days, which was great. Sold it for $54.99 plus $12 shipping. Shipping came out to be a little over 12. It was like 13, I think, 13 something. I made a separate video about the shipping tool that no one uses. When I do get around to uploading that, I did it with this phone, so that's that. And then a couple more bucks added to that hundreds of dollars found video to make it a little more truer as we go along. There's a couple more things still that need to be listed that came out of that dumpster. The Denon receiver, that still needs to be listed. There was some like I don't know if they're computer speakers or what they are, but speaker kind of things that I found. Those need to be tested and listed. But other than that, everything I found in that dumpster has been listed. Has been listed. Some of it has sold. Next we have the Greensboro, North Carolina Fire Department, $5.99 on that. Next is this Santa Rosa, Florida Sheriff's Office, $7.99 on that one. Next is this Camel Joe's Darts, 3-piece set. This was something that our parents had that was just floating around downstairs, and the other week our dad was cleaning out the basement, and this was one of the things that he found that for me to sell. So I put them up, sold again in a couple days, $14.99 plus $5 shipping on that. Next is this Tenton County Search and Rescue for Jackson Hole, Wyoming. $7.99 on that one. Next is the Salt Lake City Emergency Services. $5.99 on that one. Next is this Worcester EMS. As you see, I had two of them. I think I sold the other one last week, and then I sold the other one this week. $7.99 on that one. Next is Protec Aircraft Fire Rescue. $8.99 on that one. Next is some of the ones I put, the couple of ones that I put to auction from my auctions that I had on both accounts going. So we have this Metropolitan Miniature Fire Apparatus Association patch for New York and New Jersey. Only the one bid, $7.99, and that was like right at the end. I didn't even think this was gonna sell. It was like right at the end. Actually, yeah, it was definitely right at the end because I didn't even know that it sold until I went through and looked at the orders that I had and seen that it sold. Next is Richland Emergency Services Special Operation Dive 41 patch. Started this at $7.99, went up to $12.50, so it was okay. Could have just got away. Could have just lived with listing it at $11.99 or like a $9.99, calling it a day. And this is going to Spain. There was a guy who messaged me about if I would send it shipped to Spain, and I told him yes. So I turned that on, and that's who it sold to. Hopefully it gets to him. I mean, his address was super complicated, and I'm having to write it out, so hopefully it will make it to him. Next is Baltimore, Maryland, East Side, Medic 16, 25th Street Shuttle. First I thought this was for Baltimore County, then someone sent me a message that it was for the city. I looked it up real quick, and yep, it's definitely for the city. So only one bid on that, $8.99 as well. And then this also sold to the same buyer, this Montgomery County, Pennsylvania Sheriff's. $5.99 on that one, both sold to the same buyer. She's bought from me plenty of times before. Usually when she orders, it's the big orders. Definitely back like when I had offers on. She would send me offers all the time. And usually it was just one big order at once. And then that I think was it for the things that were put to auction. It was just those couple things. Next we have this Fremont Tri-Cities EMS, $6.99 on that. Next we have this Montgomery, Alabama Fire Rescue, sold out on offer, $6.29. I had like 2 or 3 different versions of this with different just different like coloring with the font. Like one was gold, this one was like the silver. There's something, there was a different one as well. Next we have this U.S. Navy Firefighters patch, $7.99 in this one. This had a lot of definitely I remember sending out a lot of offers on it before someone did finally come in and actually bought it at full price. Next is this Rentham, Massachusetts Fire, $5.99 on that one. Next is Virginia State Police, $5.99 on this one. And I noticed on the other account that the guy bought a Virginia State Police on the other account, and it's the same guy bought them from each account, which was interesting that someone wanted 2 of these Virginia State Police. These usually are hard to get rid of. Virginia is just not very popular for collecting, apparently. Any of like this or like the Fairfax County ones that are this size, so hard to move. They just don't move. So having the 2 sell on each, or 1 on each account sell to the same guy was interesting. Next we have this Cromwell Fire Department EMS, $6.99 on that one. Next is just however you say this, Connecticut Police, $4.99 on that one. I don't even want to try. Next is Newark, Ohio, Licking County, $9.99 on this one. Next is Prospect Fire Department, $5.99 on that one. Couldn't be bothered to do an actual little bit of research to try and figure out where this, whose this was apparently. But it sold instantly, so I didn't need to do any research on what it was for, who it was for. Maybe it's for Texas. That's where the buyer was that bought this. No idea. Next is this New Orleans EMS. I got 4 of them in the one lot, $7.99 a piece. And usually these sell pretty quickly, but I've only sold the one in the last 10 days, which is interesting. Maybe if I dropped it to $6.99, because that's what I usually sold them at before. But actually, this sold on an offer of $7.19. So maybe I do need to just lower the price to $6.99, and maybe I will end up moving the other 3. Next we have this Louisville, Kentucky Police, $4.99 in this one. Not in the greatest of shape, as you can see. It's been sitting around a while, which is why, because it's not in that great shape. Although I will have to take a look to see if I have a Louisville one for myself, as I know their homicide patches have floated around here a couple times over the last couple months. So I'll have to look to see if I have one for myself. Next we have this Dallas Fire Department, $3.99 on that one. Next we have this McLean Fire Department in New York here in Tompkins County, $6.99 on that one. Sold to John down in the lower New York State, who's bought a lot of New York stuff from me, as pretty much if he doesn't have it and I happen to find it in it's New York State, he buys it right away, or he knows that he can watch it and I will send out an offer and then he'll buy it that way. So he must have this one because he didn't buy it for me. This Ithaca Tompkins New York Regional Airport, $6.99 on this one. Next is this Lincoln, Nebraska Police, $6.99 on that one. Next we have the San Diego County Sheriff's. Sold this one on offer $5.09. Next we have this NYPD K9, $5.99 on that one. Surprised eBay didn't flag me for this one. And then last thing we got is this Texas Department of Health licensed paramedic. Got just sold the one for $5.99 earlier today. And then 2 little small inventory pickups. There's a lot of 5. I picked it up for this Hillcrest. I'm not entirely sure if I have this for my own collection. I very well may. But that's why I picked it up. So nothing really in here on this one. It's not going to be the greatest of pickups, that's for sure. And then the last little thing is this little lot of New York State. It's got a little bit of EMS stuff in here. Some of these are just generic ones, like Ambulance Company, generic and useless, and kind of like with these EMTs, State of New York Department of Health ones. Usually they have the company with it, but those do not. And then there's a couple of other just patch ones that are not, they're just nothing to me, that I'll just throw in a lot with all the other random patches that I've gotten beforehand. I didn't pay full price for this either. I got it on offer, but the total ended up becoming this $30 with the shipping in it, and taxes pretty much became $30. So that's it for the sales on this account. We'll switch over. Oops, come on. We'll switch over to the other account. So a lot of sales on this account too. A great amount, as you can see. Starting off with this LAPD, $6.99 on this one. This one listed it, sold right away, which is good. Next is Franklin, Massachusetts, $8.99 on that one. This little City of LA patch, $4.99 for that. This Port of New Orleans Harbor Police sold out on offer $8.09. I thought about putting this to auction, and no real need to. And actually, with this account, I'm gonna do another list of auctions. There's another list of things I want to put to auction and try them out. Next is this Kansas City police patch. This sold out on offer $6.29, and I know I have 2 of them. There was 2 of these, and then 2 of the other another version of Kansas City that had the state on it. Why I didn't do the listing for 2, I'm not sure. So actually, I'm not even sure if those are listed, or if that's just kind of a dead stock that is just in the envelope, but that was never actually listed. Next is Cambridge, Massachusetts, Police, $6.99. There's quite a bit of Massachusetts ones. Next we got this, however you say this, Harvey de Grace, Maryland, $12.99 on that one, plus $4 shipping. And now that I think about it, I'm not entirely sure if I even sent this first class. Now that I think about it, I'm actually going to have to double check that. Next is Blank Police Patch, $3.99 on that one. Next is Spring Valley, New York Communications, $9.99 on that one. Baker County Deputy Sheriff, $8.99 on that one. There's the other Virginia State one. Next is here's some of the auction endings. There's George Washington University Communications Officer or Office of Safety and Security. Definitely pretty cool. Thought it would have went for way more than $16.49, 3 beds. Started at $14.99, so that was a disappointment. This one was not though. This don't know how to say this one either, but North Bend, Washington, started at $9.99, went up to $26, so that was pretty good. And this is a good size patch too. That was the only one that was really worth putting to auction. Next we have this Palisade Interstate Parkway, New York, New Jersey Security. Started at $7.99, only went to $8.50. This Port Corpus Christi, Texas, $9.99 on this one. And then there was this one at $9.99 that went up to $11.50. Same buyer for these two Port Corpus Christi ones. The Coral Springs, Florida training unit. Nice little Velcro one. $5.99 went to $8.50. And then here is the Crown Jewel. This Massachusetts Southern New England Railroad Police, $36.01 it ended up going to. Started at $14.99 because I saw the other one had just sold at $50, so I was going to start it at $9, then I bumped it up to $14. And this is usually what happens is the more and more of them that start coming up on eBay, when you put them to auction, they start getting less and less. So if I would have not had it, like if that other one wouldn't have been listed, this probably would have went for higher. That's kind of just how it ends. I also think the auction ended fairly kind of late. It was kind of a little on the later side at night, so that also didn't help. Then sometimes people, like I've done it before, where I want to put in another bid on something, but I just completely forget about it. Or I have it open and I know that the countdown is coming, but then I get distracted and forget to come back to it. So that also affects the price of how it'll end up. Like if you look up NFTA Police the Christmas patch, there was only 100 of them made. They sold out within like 2 or 3 hours. I almost forgot, or no, I think it was within the hour. Same with that. I almost forgot to get one. Like the website ended up crashing because so many people wanted them. And then I just started seeing more and more of them pop up on eBay, and they started getting less and less for them. So once it starts becoming too saturated, too many of them have gone up on auction beforehand, the price goes down. That NFTA one was crazy. How I've seen probably 5 listings at least of them come up when there was only 100 of them made, and they sold out within an hour. So obviously I can tell a good amount of resellers ended up getting their hands on them. I thought I wanted to be one of them as well, but I didn't get my hand. By the time I got my hands on one, there was like less than 15 left, so I didn't end up buying a second one. All right, that's enough of that. Next, Sacramento County Sheriff's, $5.99 on that one. And here's another auction one that took a little longer to pay. This Pembina Walsh Sheriff's Department, North Dakota Weight Enforcement. Only one bid, $9.99 on that one. This is another pretty cool one. Too bad it didn't go for more. Next is Del Norte County, California. Just another city patch, $5.99 on that one. And then we got this Oregon Peace Officers Association Combat Pistol Shoot patch, $7.99 on that one. Worcester, Massachusetts Police, $7.99 on that one. And that is it on all the sales over the last week. So, lots of things I've sold. I also picked up a massive amount of inventory police stuff for just one. That's what I should have showed you. Hold on, give me a second. I want to show you the listing for this because it is insane. All right, so here it is. Here's the listing for it. It was a collection of 160 various police department / law enforcement patches. This was coming from Canada, as you can see. The auction was in Canadian. This was the opening bid. It also had a buy it now option, which I could have still done buy it now, and would still have been a great deal. So in U.S. dollars, it was about 116 and some change, and it says a lot of collection of 160. So here's like a small sampling of some of the stuff I got, which is definitely true. This is definitely a good sample of what was in there, and then I get the box in its I wouldn't call it a very big box, and then you open it. I'm going to show you the drafts that I have. So here's the drafts that I have ready to go for that lot. Look at the quantity on some of this. Like this Miami one, I have 15 of them. This Webster, Texas, I have 20 of them. St. Paul, I have 10 of them. This Doherty County in Georgia, 15 of them. I have 15 of them. I have a stack of them. There's one here that was crazy. Where is it? I have like 30 of them, and it's not a lie. Oh, it's this Florida Fish and Wild Conservation. Right, Florida or Wildlife, Fish and Wildlife Conservation. I have the quantity set at 15. I have, I think, almost 40 of them. Absolute ton of them. Yeah, this DC one, Protective Services one, I have like 20 of them. So I went in this box and just kept pulling out stacks and stacks of the same one. So that was actually a great pickup. And all in, there ended up being over 300 patches, I think it was. Hold on, where's my cheat sheet? I have over here somewhere. Where is it? Help if I knew where I put that box. Okay, I have too many patches around. I don't know where I put the box, but yeah, it was about 300. So all in, it came out to about 38 cents a piece. That is the best deal I've ever gotten. Now, I'm sure lots of these I'll be sitting on for years on end, like this St. Paul, Minnesota it's not a good one. Webster, Texas is not a great one. So that, but still, that's such a great inventory pickup. And actually, there's another one that I'm looking at that is looking like it's going to be a very similar situation. I'll kind of update you on that next week when that auction ends, assuming I think it's a 10-day listing, so maybe by next week it'll be over. Anyways, that'll be next week or the week after. That's a problem. I'll show you that listing. We'll leave it a little bit of a mystery on that. So that is it for this week. We will see you next week.